there, welcome. I'm Amy's oldest and shortest niece, giving me the advantage of being at eye level with Amy her entire life. And I like to take you on a journey. A journey like sands through the hourglass. That's right, a journey like sands through the hourglass. These are the days and years of Amy's life. Amy loved a good latte, and she indulged in the popular soap opera Days of Our Lives. So as not to miss a single episode, she was a working woman after all, she'd record it, she'd on-demand it, and she subscribed to Soap Opera Digest to catch the lives of these storied characters as they became household names for many of us. Amy knew these characters well as her own days and years were unfolding alongside theirs. And what exactly did these days and years look like? Sure, Amy beamed when wedding invites lined her refrigerator door. She loved to support fairy tale kind of loves. But Amy's oh so much more. With kindness as her currency and faith as her guide, you may have known Amy in the capacity of a giver or a charmer. Or you may have known Amy, as it's forever branded in my mind, as the classic 80s babe. She had the blonde hair, peppiness, and the world at her fingertips. But she wasn't a self-absorbed babe. No, she went to great lengths to welcome all into her circle. After all, her people were sporting unibrows. As being one of those people, what courage it took to stand against the shallowness. I now see that she was a protector. She shielded many of us from the cruelties of the world. What stunning starlet walks with us mere mortals? Or you may have known Amy as a nimble, swift, and strong athlete. Amy's athletic prowess was her secret weapon. You were lulled to sleep with her soft smile and genuine heart, only to find a fierce competitor at the ready. She dominated on the mat as a gymnast, and her backhand was unmatched. She floated like a butterfly, stung like a bee. The competition extended to board games, David's favorite tombola, and as gift giver extraordinaire, always planning a scavenger-like hunt for birthday and Christmas gifts. Oh, she gave the best presents. Or you may have known Amy as a loving mother. She, along with David, raised a fierce, strong, and independent woman. Emily and Amy, both strong-willed souls, gave what the other needed. Or you may have known Amy as a devoted daughter who answered her parents' call. Amy was clear to protect her parents' privacy. Few people knew that she ended her career to aid her ailing mother and later her father, who died of brain cancer just days before her own cancer diagnosis. She went from a selfless daughter battling for their lives to battling for her own life. With her parents, they shared a love for people, diving deep into the lives of those they knew, seeking ways to build a community thread of connective tissue. Intrigued? I know I was for the last 40 years of knowing her, and quite honestly, all I'd like to do is get back to day one and live those days and years with Amy again. The best we can do now is reflect what she's meant to all of us, the contributions she's made to all of our lives. Please come now and take a journey with us through the days and years of Amy's life.
Come stop your crying, it will be alright. Just take my hand and hold it tight. I will protect you from all around you. I will be here, don't you cry. For once so small, you seem so strong. My arms will hold you, keep you safe and warm. This bond between us can't be broken. I will be here, don't you cry. 'Cause you'll be in my heart. Yes, you'll be in my heart.
Hi, I'm Heather Persons. Amy and I met in 1975 in math class and quickly became the best of friends. Amy was such a sweetheart. Who couldn't be her best friend? I learned a lot from Amy. I learned to see the best in people even when they were at their worst, to be kind, to use kind words, to always have a smile on my face like she did. We've been through thick and thin together. She was there when my father passed away, and I was there when both her parents passed away. Amy and Dave are my daughter's godparents. Dave, I'd like to say thank you so much for including me in the trip to Hawaii that we took in October. We laughed, we cried, we had the best time. You brought us our green juice and our smoothies every morning while we laid in bed and talked about our memories and the struggle that Amy was having in this last year of her life. It's memories and things I will never, ever, ever forget. Mama Mocha Moo, did we have the best time. Words from a 10-year-old that said to me, this isn't goodbye to Amy, this is Amy, I'll see you later. So Amy, I'll see you later, and I love you with all my heart.
Hi, I'm Sue. I'm a friend of Amy's from a long time ago. And I want to start by saying I first met Amy in 1971 when my family relocated to Portland. I was 10 years old, and 10 years old young ladies don't like to move and have to make new friends. Amy was the first person that I met when I walked into Dunaway grade school, and she took me under her wing, and I think that just shows that Amy has been Amy for a long, long time. She introduced me to her friends, she showed me around, she told me who to stay away from, where to go, where to walk, what to do. And that started a friendship that has lasted over 50 years. Amy was always there. She let you feel welcome. We would hang out at each other's homes. We'd ride our bikes to the park. We'd ride our bikes to the duck pond at Westmoreland. We'd watch baseball games. We'd even ride down to Oaks Park on our bikes to go roller skating, which for any of you know is not a short trek from the Eastmoreland area. Over the years, we did many things, hung out, as I said, baseball fields, graduations, weddings, birth of each other's children. Wherever there was a celebration, Amy was there if she could be. I love you, Amy, and I'm so thankful to the 51 short years that we were able to spend together. I love you.
Still got your number in my phone, and even though you don't know or listen, I still call and wait till the tone, just to hear you say leave a message. Since you've been gone, I've had to find different ways to grieve. There's days that I don't even want it on my mind, but tonight I'm weak, so I'm gonna pull out pictures, ones with you in them. Laugh and cry a little while reminiscing by myself. I can't help that all I think about is how you were taken way too soon. It ain't the same here without you. I gotta say, missing you comes in waves, and tonight I'm drowning. Yeah, I know you're in a better place, and one day I'll see you again, but it's killing me we can't be face to face. I miss my best friend, so tonight I'm gonna pull out pictures, ones with you in them. Laugh and cry a little while reminiscing by myself. I can't help that all I think about is how you were taken way too soon. It ain't the same here without you. I gotta say, missing you comes in waves, and tonight I'm drowning. Yeah, tonight I'm drowning. I know it's a part of life, but I wasn't ready night I'm gonna pull out pictures, ones with you in them. Laugh and cry a little while reminiscing by myself. I can't help that all I think about is how you were taken way too soon. It ain't the same here without you. I gotta say, missing you comes in waves, and tonight I'm drowning. Yeah, tonight I'm drowning.
You're on. Hi, my name is Jim Sims.
No, wait.
What? What?
You don't need to say your name. We're going to put it underneath on this video.
So the video underneath me or over top me?
No, underneath. It'll say Jim Sims.
Underneath, Jim Sims. Okay, gotcha. Okay, let me start over. Just comment.
Go ahead.
Okay, it's Sims with two M's. You know, like Phil Simms, the quarterback for the New York Giants. Not Billy Sims, the running back for the Detroit Lions. And speaking of Billy Sims, you know, that was my nickname. Your brother Dave gave it to me in college. So maybe we see something like this. Jim Billy Sims.
No, it's going to be Jim Sims, two M's.
Okay.
I told you to get in that.
No, I got it. God, this guy thinks he's directing The Godfather or something. So, okay, so I got it. Okay. Just one more suggestion.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, the name thing. It's just kind of bugging me.
I can see that.
Okay, so a lot of people don't know me as Jim Sims. I mean, you say Jim Sims, they don't know who I am. So how about Simsy? You know, that's the way your brother Dommy knows me as Simsy this, Simsy that. That Simsy would look great.
Dommy will adjust. It's going to be Jim Sims. I'm giving you the two M's.
Okay, you got the two M's. Jesus. You know, this is a celebration of life for Amy. And Amy wanted a little humor in this, and obviously you woke up on the wrong side of the bed, so okay, we'll just go with that. Okay, let me get my thoughts together here for just a second. Kind of all I can think of right now is a Seinfeld episode. You know, the one with Festivus?
Yeah.
Instead of Mr. Costanza sitting at the table, he comes up and says the feats of strength, or something like that. During the celebration of life, Amy wanted a little bit of humor, and hopefully we provided that. What I always said is, what Amy wants, Amy gets. Amy, we love you. As most of you know, Dave and Amy were high school sweethearts, and they were together for over 44 years. They were best friends, and it was like a fairy tale relationship. Early on in the relationship, Dave had a slight issue. He had an infatuation, some would say an obsession, with another person. His name, Pete Rose. Pete was Dave's idol, but even Pete couldn't compare to Amy. She was smart, funny, beautiful, and loved sports. The total package. From that point on, Dave only had eyes for Amy.
And now the end is near, and so I face the final curtain. My friend, I'll say it clear, I'll state my case, of which I'm certain. I've lived a life that's full. I traveled each and every highway, and more, much more than this. I did it my way. Regrets, I've had a few, but then again, too few to mention. I did what I had to do and saw it through without exemption. I planned each charted course, each careful step along the byway, and more, much more than this, I did it my way. Yes, there were times, I'm sure you knew, when I bit off more than I could chew. But through it all, when there was doubt, I ate it up and spit it out. I faced it all, and I stood tall, and did it my way.
As I witnessed the everlasting love they had for each other, I was truly inspired. I remember going home one night and texting a group of guys. I said, if you ever want to know what true love is, come watch the interaction between Dave and Amy for about 5 minutes.
Emily was born on May 12, 1995. Amy and Dave brought her home on May 13th. When they returned from the hospital, many friends and family had gathered to meet Em, including Bob and Faith, who couldn't wait to meet their grandchild. Dave went into the house and after a few minutes wondered why Amy wasn't behind him. It turned out that Emily was stuck in her car seat because Amy couldn't get her out. So began the trials and tribulations of being a mom. As any mother and daughter knows, there are many ups and downs and challenging times raising a daughter and being a daughter. But being a mom was Amy's greatest gift.
Now the sky is gold. I hug your legs and fall asleep on the way home. I don't know why all the trees change in the fall, but I know you're not scared of anything at all. Don't know if Snow White's house is near or far away, but I know I had the best day with you today. I'm 13 now and don't know how my friends could be so mean. I come home crying and you hold me tight and grab the keys, and we drive until we found a town far enough away, and we talk and
Amy was very proud of the woman Emily has become, and the strength and love Emily showed during the last weeks of Amy's life showed all of us that Amy had done an incredible job teaching Emily to be kind and selfless. Emily, I close in saying your mother loved you to the moon and back.
on the car ride home with you.
I joined the office in 1995. And that's when Dr. Gill, Amy, me, Judy, Danae, and Kimmy, we were the dream team. Yes, we were. And we knew it. We laughed a lot at the office every single day. Amy often told us that we were the best years that her dad had in the office. We talked about dreams. Amy's dreams always had her losing her teeth. And Judy's dreams always had people with no heads. We would sit around and analyze these dreams, try and figure out what these dreams meant, and it would become so silly we could hardly even work. We had a great time. Amy always told Judy that she wanted to come back as one of her pets because Judy's pets had a pretty wonderful life. Many times Amy had to work late or had to work weekends because patients would come in and talk to her during their entire appointment, and Amy gave them all the time that they needed. She truly appreciated every patient that came in, and every patient knew that she truly cared about them.
it was not uncommon for Amy to drive home an elderly patient after their appointment. Amy had a great gift for remembering anybody she knew or met for the very first time. We would be sitting at lunch somewhere in the neighborhood, and a new patient would walk in, and Amy would, ever so sleight of hand, whisper the patient's name and tidbits of the patient to her dad. Now I know why. She was always on his right side, pun intended.
I met Amy when our kids were in elementary school together, but the majority of our friendship was spent in the dental office working closely together. Amy was so comforting for people. She had quite the following of patients that came from her dad's dental practice that followed her to our dental practice in Clackamas. This is where I worked with Amy, and people just trusted her, and they knew that Amy was going to take the best care of them. Amy was so thoughtful and giving of her time and her treats. It only took one time of me bringing home Amy's famous frosted pumpkin bars for my family to make that a holiday tradition. They do not consider it Thanksgiving until I make Amy's pumpkin bars, and I will think of Amy every year when I make those bars. Amy was the truest friend. She was always there to listen, without judgment, through the good times and the bad times. She was honest, fair, and never had a lack of words to help you through whatever you needed. She was the kind of friend that on Friday, if I told her that I was doing something over the weekend or going somewhere, or that one of my kids had a sporting event or a game, she always remembered to ask me on Monday with interest. And sometimes her and Dave would even show up at the game and cheer them on, which was awesome and appreciated. I am going to miss my friend Amy, just like all of you are. But I also find comfort in knowing that when I get to heaven, that Amy's going to be there to greet me and make me feel comfortably at home. Thank you.
As you all know, Mr. Gill was a big sports fan. He did a lot of work with the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. And I remember they were having a conference here in town, and the guest speaker was going to be Coach Tom Landry of the Dallas Cowboys. Well, Mr. Gill knew I was a big Cowboy fan. So he gave me a call and he invited me to the conference, and he said that I might be able to get an autograph or maybe a picture with Coach Landry. And so I was really excited about that. And so I remember going to the hotel. I've got my football and I was excited about the picture. And I get in the elevator and Tom Landry's in the elevator. And he had his hat on. And I was so intimidated, I didn't say a word to him. I couldn't. And so we get off the elevator and we go in the conference, and the conference was awesome. And Mr. Gill came up to me afterwards and said, "Hey, we're going to have, Tom Landry's going to sign your football." And I said, "Well, I brought one for me and one for my friend." Now, my friend's football had Drew Pearson and Tony Dorsett on it, and the Tom Landry autograph would be awesome on that football. So he said, "You can only get one." And I said, "Okay, well, I'm going to have my friend's football signed, but I could get the picture with Tom Landry because I thought that's a lot more important to me." So got the football signed, and Mr. Gill took a picture of me with Tom Landry, and it was just awesome. And I got to meet him and shake his hand. And he said he'd contact me about 2 weeks later and hopefully bring the picture over. And so, that was great. So I waited about a week or two, and he finally called me. And he said, we took Tom Landry up to Timberline Lodge to kind of show him the sights and stuff up there. And during that time, I left my camera in the car, and somebody broke into my car and stole the camera with your picture on it. I was really disappointed. Obviously, I wanted that picture with Tom Landry hanging in my den, but I always appreciated Mr. Gill thinking of me when he knew I was a big Cowboy fan and giving me the opportunity to meet Mr. Landry.
When I think about Amy, I just remember her as an incredibly kind person. She was kind to everyone, and she was the gathering place for years for our family. She always was hosting the holidays and all other kind of events. There was always a group of people here laughing, having fun, and her and Dave always made it fun. There was always games and lots of things to keep the kids busy. The kids loved coming here. And also the other thing, probably the thing that I will remember the most about Amy is her faith. She had the most incredible faith, and over the last few years she really inspired me, and I just think she was incredible.
I also like to expand on that. When I think of Amy and Amy's life, I think of 3 examples that she not only set for me, but for all of us. And obviously, the first one is her faith in God, her trust in Jesus. It's just amazing to see it from the very beginning all the way until her last days. But her faith was so strong and so deep. I know she is in heaven right now with the Lord because of her faith. So that was the first example. The second example is her love for others. Kind of what Laura was just talking about. It's just amazing to watch her open her house up, and her kindness and her love and her gentleness and her patience. She was really amazing in that area. And the third example, before I kind of dive into that, I kind of want to look back at Scripture on what God says about kind of how Amy lived her life. The disciples came to Jesus one night and asked him about what's the most important commandment of them all. And basically what they were asking him was, how do you live your life? What's the most important thing in your life? And Jesus said that love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, and with all your strength. And then he said the second one is just as important, but to love your neighbors as yourself. And Amy, I could say check on that one and check on the other one. She did both of those things. The third example is kind of a two-parter with Dave and Amy, but their marriage was amazing. They lived it. I've known them obviously my whole life, and I have never seen them argue. I've never seen them, say negative things about each other. Their love was unconditional. They played tennis together. I used to go to the courts and watch how much fun they had together. It has been truly an example for me and Laura in our marriage, and an example for all of us in their marriage. So we will miss Amy. We love her. We love Amy, and we thank Amy for the examples that she has set for all of us.
Love you, Amy.
As a brother, I'll do the best that I can to be there to talk to when you need a friend. I'll always be there for you. Remember the days when we played in the grass, so green with color, our memories will last. Our clothes with holes and covered in mud. And I'll be proud to say you're a part of my life and family. And I'll try to protect you and help if you ever fall on your knees. You are my brothers and you are my sisters. You're a lifetime of memories and fun. We are the souls of the family tree. Give thanks to the ones that we love.
Sister, I'll be there with open arms, like a mother holds her child for the very first time. The bond that makes a family strong and true. Forever together, the older the better, to teach one another respect to the elder, to be free, happy to let me be me.
And I'll be proud to say you're a part of my life and family. And I'll try to protect you and help if you ever fall on your knees. 'Cause you are my brothers and you are my sisters. You're a lifetime of memories and fun. We are the souls of the family tree. Give thanks to the ones that we love. You are my brothers, you are my sisters. You're a lifetime of memories and fun. We are the souls of the family tree. Give thanks to the ones that we love. No. Brothers and sisters, brothers and sisters, brothers and sisters, brothers and sisters, brothers and sisters.
It's kind of a chick thing, right?
Group hug. Amy, everybody loves you.
Amy, what's going on here?
Hi, we are doing a scavenger hunt today that I sent them on for 2 hours to do, but really I wanted to hold the baby, so that's what I got to do the whole time while they were outside. They think that they're just getting all these points and get a good prize and everything, but I just wanted to hold the baby. So.
Just to be the baby.
Yeah.
Lizzie and Stephen Kim, I received a picture with
with the LJ with the terrible toddler towel. Well, what you don't understand, half this baby, or I'll take just the cute part up here, not the poopy part you guys can have for Steelers. And she is a Charger fan too. So this is little LJ with her terrible towel for the Chargers, so she can watch with her daddy. I love you.
Bolt up.
Bolt up, baby.
We agree with Amy. Matter of fact, we're going to take it a step further. We are tossing away 45 years of my team is the best and your team stinks. No bickering and poor sportsmanship, we promise. Only Amy could deliver us peace during this football season. We are all charging them up for the 2022 season. A fan of Amy's is a fan of the Chargers this year. The whole family asks you all to join in support of the Lightning Bolts. Come on, Herbie, win this one for Aim.
Bolt up.
Bolt up, baby.
Amy is my sister-in-law, and I've known her pretty much my entire life. I think I met Amy when I was 6 years old, and she was as special then as she is today. I want to share a story that doesn't really pertain to Amy's background, but how I am dealing with this over the last month. And it takes me back to a TV series that was my favorite growing up, The Andy Griffith Show. And there was an episode called Opie the Birdman. And Opie was a little kid about my age, and he ended up taking care of 3 little birds, and he was basically doing everything a mama bird would do because they lost their mom. And during the series, or during this episode, he did everything he needed to do, and a couple of weeks have gone by, and Opie realized that it was time to maybe let the birds go. And his dad was with him, and kind of talking him through it, and he took the birds in his hand and he let them go one at a time, and they all flew off, and it was a pretty proud moment for Opie because he did a good job. And he looked down at the cage and he was a little discouraged, and you could see it in his face after a really big high of success. And then he looks down at the cage and says to his dad, he goes, the cage looks awfully empty, and his dad looks down, and Dad looks up and says, yeah, but don't the trees look nice and full? And that's how I feel when I talk about Amy, is that she left us full of her selflessness, full of her joy, and most of all full of her love. And that's what I'm taking out of this experience, is that Amy left probably every single person in this church nice and full. And we love you, Aim, and it's been a really tough time, but you're in a better place, and we love you.
Amy had a saying, being kind and nice to other people is free. To honor her, over the next 24 hours, do something nice for someone else.
She was the good in all of our lives. Her presence is still with us, and it can be found in our memories, our photos, in her family and friends. You may feel a gentle breeze, the warm sun, she really loved the sun, the butterflies that dance around you.
Amy and Dr. Gill, they now live with God, which means that someday we'll be seeing them again. But remember, just watch for those white butterflies and say, hello, Amy. Hello, Doctor. Hello, Faith. Hello, loved one.
Butterflies are free, and so are we. Butterflies are free, and so are we.